so I'm going to be going over why it's so important to limit your expenses when you first start trading, especially if this is a career that you do want to go with and you're first starting out. Main reason is with less expenses, the more capital you're going to have and the less stress you're going to have on yourself when it comes to trading. Trading is a very stressful career path already. Nonetheless, with limiting expenses, you don't have that much pressure with having to make so much profit or a certain amount of profit a month to just live up to whatever expenses that you're trying to live up to. And your first year of expenses should be relatively low. Of course, if you are in a situation where you have kids, you have a wife, you have a household to take care of, then that's going to be a little different. I would recommend to make sure you have a very nice cushion of capital to be able to take care of any emergencies that might happen. Now, how limited can your expenses be? It could be as simple as, hey, you know what? Let me not go get that Starbucks twice a week. Let me not eat out every other day. Let me start cooking from home. Let me start going out less. And even though it does suck in the beginning, because obviously not obviously, but usually a lot of people get into trading because they want the whole lifestyle. They want the whole crazy, luxury life. And that's perfectly fine, honestly. The only thing is that when you're first starting, you have to understand that you're not there yet, right? You're starting out now and you have to create a very strong foundation for you to build up towards. Main reason I say that is because with a weak foundation and a lot of expenses, you're basically just leaking funds out of your own trading account, especially if you're on your own funded account and you're not on a prop firm funded account. Of course, you could always limit expenses by taking some of the live funds that you have on your personal account and trying to leverage that into a larger account with a prop firm. But I digress. That's just a different path that you guys could take. Main reason I'm doing this video is because a lot of people get the wrong idea of, hey, I just started trading. I started making a couple $100 here or a couple grand here and there. I'm going to start living that crazy lavish lifestyle that I'm still not but able to obtain or sustain. Right? Just because you made a grand or two in the market now doesn't mean that that's going to be true week over week, month over month, especially if you're new to trading. The whole point of trading is to get a great basis and creating a foundation to where you have the financial freedom to do the things you actually want to do, but it takes time to create this. And you have to understand that your time will come, but it does take some time. Sometimes it might be a month. It might be a month-to-month basis, whether how good of a trader you are or what your skill set actually is in the market. I do know a couple people that will do 20-30% a month, and they can sustain that because that's how high their skill set is when it comes to trading. And then there's others that struggle just to make 5-6% a month. If you fall into that criteria where you're barely breaking even or only making 1 or 2%, don't give up, stick to it, be more consistent when it comes to following your trading plan, as well as adjusting and making sure that you're fixing the things you're doing wrong. A lot of traders try to just keep adding more stuff towards a trading plan, thinking that the more accomplishments I add, the better I'll be. But you have to realize when you're at fault and when you do have something wrong in your trading strategy and it's flawed. Now, moving on to the next thing that I do want to touch on with the whole expenses is don't start getting a crazy amount of subscriptions. Don't go get that new car right away. Don't get a crazy watch. Don't add monthly expenses that are reoccurring. Main reason I say is because it starts taking away from you, right? Especially if you're struggling to get those higher percentage yields from your trades, and you want to focus in the beginning of trading to to further fund and grow your account size. That should be your number one priority when you first start trading if you are going the personal funded route. So what I mean by that is, like, let's say you funded an account with 30 grand, right? On that 30 grand, let's say you make 10% month over month, little by little. If you don't take away from that account, 3 months later, you're going to be at 45 grand already. Now that's a way larger account than 30 grand that you initially started with. Now what that allows you to do is make more money, right? Because 10% of 40 grand is 4 grand rather than 10% of 30 grand, that's 3 grand. So what I always recommend is, hey, do the math, right? Realize where you actually want to get to and what it's going to take for you to get there. A lot of people are a little lazy and they don't want to go on their phone and do the calculations. Hey, look, okay, well, I need an extra 6 grand to be where I want to be just because I want to get that nice car. I want to get that new apartment, that new house. So, let me make sense of this. What do I got to do, or where does my account size have to be in order for me to sustain that living that I want to have? Super simple math. Just go in your calculator. Let's say, obviously I always use 100K as a reference, just because it's very obtainable in the sense that you could always get a prop firm and do that. But if you are funding it yourself and you are growing it from a 30K account or even a 10K account, then do the math right there. Usually I would say average traders or good traders will average, 10 to 12% a month. Now, 10 to 12%, that's a great month, especially if it's sustainable. Now, 10% of a 10K account, that's 1K right there a month. So if you want to get to that 6K a month of free income for you to spend, then you're most likely going to have to be within that 58 to 60K range if you're averaging 10 to 12%. That is a crazy amount of growth, because that'd be 600% gain over a 10K account. But that's 100% obtainable, especially if you keep adding towards that live account, right? Let's say you get some extra money from a side job, or let's say you got a raise at your current job. Start funneling those funds into your live account. Don't just leave it at where it's at and try to just scale that initial deposit that you had. If you do have extra income coming in, try to utilize that as well. Of course, be responsible with the money you're spending and be very mindful of the bills that you have, as well as whatever upcoming expenses that you might have. Always have an emergency fund. Without an emergency fund, you're going to have a lot of stress on your shoulders, and it's just not worth it, frankly, right? The whole point of trading is to relieve that stress and have more financial freedom, as well as have your money working for you. Now, don't work backwards, work the smart way, be optimal about it. And that's basically all I want to leave you guys with on today's video. It's a little short, but I just want to drop some gems for you guys to realize the importance of this. Hope you guys enjoy, and stay tuned for more. Check the link down in the description for the free coursework, free Telegram chat, as well as other services and other cool little things I'll leave for you guys, as well as little websites and stuff to help you guys out that have free content as well besides myself. Hope you guys enjoyed.